Welcome back to Days. Today we will learn about the explosive developments that are set to rock Salem during the week of August 25th to 29th, where dangerous investigations, scandalous bedroom encounters, and corporate espionage collide in ways that will leave viewers absolutely stunned. Steve Johnson's explosive Titan DiMera investigation reaches breaking point. The veteran private investigator Steve Johnson finds himself deeper than ever in the treacherous waters of corporate conspiracy as his investigation into the Titan DiMera merger intensifies to dangerous new levels. What started as a routine corporate inquiry has transformed into something far more sinister, with Steve uncovering layers of deception that could topple some of Salem's most powerful families. The seasoned detective, known for his relentless pursuit of truth, discovers that the merger papers contain more than just standard business arrangements. They're hiding secrets that certain powerful individuals would kill to keep buried. Sources close to the investigation reveal that Steve has been working tirelessly around the clock, following paper trails that lead to offshore accounts, mysterious shell companies, and backdoor deals that violate multiple federal regulations. The stakes have never been higher, and Steve knows that one wrong move could not only destroy his career but put his loved ones in mortal danger. His findings are so explosive that even he seems shocked by the magnitude of corruption he's uncovered, leading him to question whether he's in over his head this time. Stephanie Johnson's high-stakes public relations nightmare. Meanwhile, Stephanie Johnson faces her most challenging professional crisis yet as she agrees to handle public relations for what could become the biggest corporate disaster in Salem's history. The accomplished PR specialist, who has built her reputation on managing difficult situations with grace and expertise, finds herself thrust into a nightmare scenario where one wrong statement could trigger a media firestorm that destroys multiple companies and ruins countless lives. Industry insiders suggest that Stephanie's decision to take on this volatile assignment stems from both professional ambition and personal loyalty, but she may have severely underestimated the complexity of what she's walking into. The disaster management situation requires her to navigate between competing interests, each with their own agenda and secrets to protect. Her every move will be scrutinized by corporate executives, federal investigators, and a media hungry for scandal, making this the ultimate test of her professional skills and personal integrity. The pressure is mounting as Stephanie realizes that the public relations aspect of this crisis extends far beyond typical damage control. She's essentially being asked to orchestrate one of the most sophisticated cover-ups in corporate history, all while maintaining her professional ethics and legal obligations. Gabi Hernandez's dangerous game of corporate seduction. In perhaps the most shocking development of all, Gabi Hernandez prepares to cross lines she never imagined crossing as her quest for information about the Titan DiMera merger takes a decidedly intimate turn. The ambitious businesswoman, who has already proven she's willing to use any means necessary to achieve her goals, finds herself contemplating a strategy that could either make her the most powerful woman in Salem or destroy her completely. Gabi's desperation to uncover Titan's secrets has led her to devise a plan so audacious and morally questionable that even she questions whether she's gone too far. Her willingness to use seduction as a weapon in corporate warfare represents a new low in her already controversial career, but the potential rewards are too tempting to ignore. With Tony DiMera having promised her the CEO position at DiMera Enterprises if she successfully brings down Titan, Gabi sees this as her one chance to claim the power and respect she's always craved. The psychological toll of her decisions is beginning to show, as Gabi struggles with the realization that she's becoming the very type of person she once despised. Yet the promise of ultimate power keeps pushing her forward, even as she loses pieces of her soul with each calculated move. The Philip Kiriaki's bedroom scandal that shocks Salem. The most scandalous twist comes when Gabi's dangerous game leads her directly into Philip Kiriaki's bed, creating a situation that will send shockwaves throughout Salem's elite social circles. What begins as a calculated seduction designed to extract corporate secrets quickly evolves into something far more complicated, as both Gabi and Philip find themselves caught in a web of desire, deception, and dangerous attraction that neither anticipated. When Philip awakens to find Gabi beside him, the morning after revelation creates an explosive dynamic that threatens to upend both of their carefully laid plans. The heir to the Kyriakis' fortune realizes he may have been manipulated, while Gabi grapples with the unexpected emotional complications of mixing business with pleasure in such an intimate way. Their post-encounter confrontation promises to be filled with accusations, denials, and the kind of raw emotional honesty that both characters typically avoid at all costs. The bedroom encounter represents more than just a one-night stand. It's a dangerous liaison that could expose both participants to blackmail, corporate espionage charges, and personal destruction. As word of their liaison begins to spread through Salem's gossip networks, both Gabi and Philip must confront the reality that their moment of passion may have consequences neither of them is prepared to handle. Xanders Fury and the Brothers' War. The revelation of Gabi and Philip's intimate encounter threatens to ignite a family war between the Kyriakis brothers that could tear the dynasty apart. Xander Kyriakis, already struggling with his own romantic complications and business pressures, faces the devastating realization that his brother may have been seduced by the very woman who's been manipulating their family's business interests. The betrayal cuts deep on multiple levels: personal, professional, and familial. Sources suggest that Xander's reaction will be swift and brutal, as he confronts both his brother and Gabi with the full force of his legendary temper. The confrontation promises to expose long-simmering resentments between the brothers, with Philip's perceived betrayal serving as the catalyst for years of suppressed anger and competition. Xander's jealousy isn't just about Gabi's affections, it's about feeling manipulated and used by someone he was beginning to trust, and watching his brother fall into the same trap. The family drama extends beyond mere sibling rivalry, as the Kyriakis' empire itself hangs in the balance. With Gabi's manipulations potentially driving a wedge between the brothers, the united front they need to survive the DiMera threat begins to crumble, exactly as Tony DiMera planned. The hunt for Titan's buried secrets. As Gabi's seduction strategy unfolds, the question remains whether she'll successfully uncover the damning evidence she needs to destroy Titan from within. Her access to Philip's private spaces and personal devices during their intimate encounter provides the perfect opportunity to obtain confidential documents, financial records, and communication logs that could prove the merger's illegality. The corporate espionage aspect of Gabi's mission requires her to balance maintaining Philip's trust while systematically betraying him in the most intimate way possible. Every stolen glance at his phone, every photographed document, and every recorded conversation brings her closer to the evidence Tony DiMera needs, but also deeper into a web of deception that could destroy her if discovered. The stakes couldn't be higher, as the information Gabi seeks could not only bring down Titan but potentially implicate federal regulators, judges, and politicians in a conspiracy that reaches the highest levels of government. The documents she's hunting for represent more than just corporate malfeasance. They're evidence of a systematic corruption that could trigger congressional investigations and criminal prosecutions. The week that changes everything. As the week of August 25th to 29th unfolds, Salem braces for revelations that will reshape the power structure of the entire town. The convergence of Steve's investigation, Stephanie's PR crisis, and Gabi's seduction scheme creates a perfect storm of scandal that threatens to consume everyone in its path. Long-held secrets will be exposed, alliances will crumble, and the very foundations of Salem's most powerful families will be tested like never before. The explosive combination of corporate conspiracy, sexual manipulation, and family betrayal promises to deliver the kind of dramatic entertainment that Days of Our Lives fans crave, with consequences that will reverberate through Salem for months to come. As these interconnected storylines reach their climactic moments, viewers can expect shocking revelations, devastating betrayals, and the kind of emotional fireworks that make this show appointment television. Salem's secrets unfold, Philip, Gabi, and the mystery behind Titan DiMera. Welcome back, dear readers, to another deep dive into the unfolding drama of Days of Our Lives. Yesterday's episode left us with more questions than answers, tugging on threads of loyalty, betrayal, and suspicion that seem to tie the entire town of Salem together. At the center of it all are three names that continue to stir controversy: Philip, Gabi, and the ever-powerful Titan DiMera merger. What's really happening behind closed doors? Let's walk through it step by step and unravel the layers of this tangled storyline. Gabi's visit to Steve, fear in her eyes. The episode began with Gabi Hernandez, a woman who has never been known for her timid nature, walking into Steve Johnson's office. Her concern was written all over her face. Gabi explained that her Titan DiMera bosses were in a panic over the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, request Steve had filed. To many in Salem, paperwork like this might seem like boring red tape. But in the world of corporate power and family secrets, paperwork can expose everything, every shady deal, every betrayal swept under the rug. Steve, with his signature cool confidence, assured her that their panic might actually be a good sign. After all, if Titan DiMera had nothing to hide, they would have simply shrugged off his request. Instead, their fear suggested that something buried deep in the files could bring the mighty empire crashing down. Steve's instincts, honed over decades of detective work and private investigation, told him he was closing in on something big. Belle and Philip, an uneasy conversation. Meanwhile, out in Salem's town square, Belle Black found herself face to face with Philip Kyriakis. Their encounter began innocently enough, with a polite exchange about Johnny DiMera's ongoing court case. Belle admitted, almost hesitantly, that she hoped her performance in court hadn't been too strong, because deep down, she wanted Johnny to be found innocent. Philip, ever the smooth talker, brought up what EJ had done to Belle during the trial, pretending to sympathize with her pain and the aftermath of their breakup. Belle, wise beyond her years and keen to Philip's games, saw right through his false sympathy. Yet, despite knowing his motives weren't entirely pure, she didn't dismiss him. Philip still offered his shoulder if she needed someone to lean on, leaving Belle with the uncomfortable realization that in Salem, kindness often comes wrapped in ulterior motives. Gabi, Philip, and suspicion brewing. Not long after, Philip spotted Gabi in the square. His expression said it all: suspicion, distrust, and curiosity. As Belle left to meet Steve at Black Patch, Gabi approached Philip with her usual charm, casually suggesting they grab lunch to discuss work matters. But Philip was not so easily swayed. Narrowing his eyes, he demanded to know if she was the one trying to sabotage the Titan DiMera merger. The question cut through the pleasantries like a knife, leaving Gabi stunned. She swore, not just on her reputation, but on her daughter's life, that she had not filed the FOIA request. Her sincerity seemed to move Philip, at least temporarily. Against his better judgment, he agreed to join her for lunch, though he made it clear they would not discuss business. This exchange left viewers wondering, is Gabi telling the truth, or is she weaving another one of her clever webs? And why did Philip, a man who has been betrayed more than once, let his guard down so quickly? Belle's memories at Black Patch. Back at Steve's office, Belle walked in for the first time since her father, John Black, had passed away. The room carried heavy memories for her. She paused at a photo of Steve and John on the desk, two men who had shared countless adventures, victories, and tragedies. With tears quietly slipping down her face, Belle wiped her eyes, caught between grief and pride. Steve, sensing the weight of the moment, gently reminisced about the first case he and John had worked on together. It was a reminder that though John may be gone, his presence still lingers in the heart of Salem and in the lives of those who loved him. A question about Philip. Once the moment of remembrance passed, Steve shifted gears and asked Belle a pointed question: did she know whether Philip had done anything foolish with the family business? His tone was cautious, not accusatory, but Belle immediately grew defensive. She explained that, as Philip's attorney, she was bound by client confidentiality. Her hands were tied, and though she might have wanted to help, she could not betray her professional oath. Steve, however, wasn't about to stop digging. After Belle left, he picked up the phone and called Paul Narita, his trusted ally in the International Security Alliance, ISA. Steve asked Paul to obtain the original court records from the case in which Philip had been awarded half of Titan's shares. Why did Steve want those records? Because he knew that somewhere in the fine print, somewhere in the legal language, there might be a clue that could expose Philip's true intentions. The larger picture: secrets, loyalties, and lies. What makes this storyline so fascinating is how interconnected it is. Gabi is caught between her loyalty to her bosses and her instinct for survival. Philip is a man haunted by his family legacy, his ambition often overshadowed by suspicion. Belle, still reeling from personal heartbreak, must balance her integrity as an attorney with her loyalty to her friends. And Steve, the eternal investigator, is once again standing at the crossroads of truth and deception, determined to uncover the secrets that others would rather keep hidden. As the pieces fall into place, one thing is clear: Titan DiMera is not just a business. It is a battlefield where power, greed, and loyalty clash every single day. And in Salem, where every alliance carries a hidden cost, the truth will not stay buried forever. Final thoughts. For longtime fans of Days of Our Lives, these moments echo the timeless themes that have defined the show for decades: family bonds strained to the breaking point, the constant push and pull between love and betrayal, and the never-ending search for justice in a town that rarely offers it. Is Gabi really innocent? Has Philip done something reckless that could threaten the family business? And will Steve's investigation uncover a truth so dangerous it could shake the foundations of Salem itself? One thing is certain: yesterday's episode has set the stage for revelations that promise to change everything. Stay tuned, because in Salem, the truth always finds a way to surface, even if it tears families apart in the process.